God really touched my heart through the people, through the depth of their commitment, having so little. And so their faith was off the charts. And so it brought a lot of scripture to life, and things like just the way they prayed and the way they were mindful to give thanks and ask God. That touched my heart. That the depth of their faith, having what we would perceive as so little, was huge.
One of the things that I think God really impressed upon me and instilled in me is when we were over there, just seeing how little that the people had and how little they lived off of, but how happy they were despite the fact that they had nothing by American standards. And so I think that's just something that I'll take away. You know, if you have Christ and you have His love and you have that fellowship and community, that's really the only thing that you need for happiness.
Being on the other side of the world, it was already a different lifestyle. But seeing the people hurting and seeing the people who you could see that they were broken and lost without even talking to them, it just makes your heart hurt before even knowing their story or knowing how they live.
One particular day, we journeyed out into the bush, and it was a long trip out there. And as we drove and drove and drove, we saw very few people. And we got out there, and there were hundreds of people at this little church, this brand new church that they had put out there in the middle of nowhere on the top of this little hill. And I think once I was there and we worshiped together and we celebrated at the same time, what broke my heart was that there was such a need. They all walked there. There was like 50 children. None of them had shoes. And so the aspect of their need really broke my heart.
For me, I think mission is important because basically, I mean, it's scriptural. That's what we're called to do as Christians. You know, we're called to go and to make disciples of all nations and to spread the gospel. And so I think that's why it's important for us to do those things and to reach out, and as well as an inner transformation with yourself and just what God does in your heart as you're on mission for Him is truly something incredible. So mission's important to outreach, but not only to outreach, but also to change your life and strengthen your walk with Christ.
When we were on the lake and we saw the filthy lake water, and the people would like get water bottles and would drink out of it and bathe in it and go to the restroom in it, you can't help but just hurt. And you know, when we were on our way out there for the first day, I just wanted to cry. Like, just seeing them, you know, they were still happy, but you know, in America, if you see water like that, you would stay as far away as you could. And so you see the people just hurt but not know that they're hurting, and hurt their bodies but just still live like that.
Well, we know that everyone is called to serve, and so I guess the thing that has changed my heart about serving is that I look at it as a privilege and not a requirement as a Christian, and that my service happened to be for 2 weeks in Kenya, but it's daily in my home, at my school, in my neighborhood, and so I'm serving, or I should be serving, all the time. And so I think just being mindful that it's a privilege. We're called to serve. Jesus says, you know, I didn't come to be served, but to serve. And so that's why we serve.